another question for perhaps all of you. We've obviously spoken about measuring biodiversity and understanding why that's important, but how does measuring biodiversity then relate into protecting it? You know, what sort of steps happen after you've identified your new species, identified that they're at risk and need protecting? What happens next to get that protection and stop that species going extinct?
I think it very much depends on the species and where the species is and what the problem is. So I think when species, and you other guys might know more about this because I don't actively in charge of what happens next, but when species are threatened, normally what happens is we need to find out what the threat is and identify it and try to stop it. So it depends what that is. I've worked on areas which have had rare species where we've had sudden pollution instances, and therefore we've had to clean up and try and protect that doesn't and stop that happening again. So things like that. But obviously more charismatic species, there are breeding programs that normally happen in zoos and things like that, and it's all about finding the threat and finding the best solution to stop it. So all depends on your species, I think.
I'd add there's a quote that I used to see when I used to work at the Bronx Zoo as a kid, and near the entrance there was a quote that said, "In the end, we will conserve only what we love, we will love only what we understand, and we will understand only what we are taught." And so, you know, it's really important to find out what's out there, right? And so we need people to find out what's out there before we can figure out what we need to conserve. And Rosetta's perfectly right. You know, we do need to have special plans for the different kinds of species. Protecting a forest is not the same as protecting a watershed. And so each of those need a particular plan, and we need to tell governments to help us figure out those plans and to bring awareness to what species are threatened.
Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, I think the next level of protection is actually the level that is most important to sustaining this very biodiversity, sustaining the nature, sustaining the planet. And of course, after the measurement, then it's going to referee, it's going to give us information, it's going to tell us the direction, it's going to give us a compass of what to do next. Of course, the protection can be a kind of trying to maybe enforce a law or policy against certain species that are going into extinction, or to rescue certain species that are not quite doing well, that are almost maybe gone extinction or threat. And bring up information that are concerned, that has been identified to have a particular status. So it is a critical towards sustaining the biodiversity itself.
Great, thank you. So there are obviously next steps to be taken with the data that you're collecting, thinking about how then that goes into policy making and how that gets turned into law. So thank you very much, Prasanta, Sahid and Rosetta for joining us, and thank you for our audience as well for some amazing questions coming through. I can see citizens and non-scientists, we can become scientists and get involved either with the technology in our pockets by joining local youth organisations or museums, and then thinking about potential careers in science, how we can further pursue those. So thank you very much everyone for joining us. It's been lovely to have you. Thank you for sharing your insights. And